Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to the Budget Bulletin of ICMA Pakistan. In this segment today and on behalf of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan and for the benefit of our key stakeholders, I will be sharing with you summary of major targets, allocations and relief measures as presented in federal budget for the year 2020 to 2021. The federal budget was presented by Mr. Hamad Azhar, the Federal Minister for Industries and Production in the National Assembly. The most prominent feature of this year's budget is that no new tax has been imposed by the government in order to provide relief to the people who are already facing difficulties due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The total outlay for this year's budget is Rs 7,295 billion compared to last year's budgeted outlay of 8,238 billion, a contraction of 11%. The budget focuses on continuing social expenditures for the assistance of vulnerable and weaker segments of society under the SARS program, for which budget has been increased to Rs 208 billion from the existing Rs 187 billion. The amount will be spent on vulnerable segments of the society in a transparent way. Another prominent feature of this year's budget is that government has not given any increase or has not set any increase in the salaries and pensions of government employees. This does seem like a major signal towards the control of expenditures. The major targets for financial year 2020 and 2021 are: GDP growth target has been set at 2.1% for the financial year 2020-2021. Current account deficit has been set to be confined at 4.4% of the GDP and fiscal deficit to be confined to 7% of GDP. Total revenue target has been set at Rs 6.573 trillion. FPR tax revenue target has been fixed at Rs 4.963 trillion. We believe FPR tax collection target looks highly over-optimistic in prevailing economic conditions, and a mini budget later in the year looks highly probable. Inflation target has been set at 6.5% from 9.1% in the preceding year, and foreign direct investment will be enhanced by 25%. Major budgetary allocations for this year are: total PSDB allocations have been enhanced to Rs 249 billion from 206 billion. 73% of public sector development program has been allocated for ongoing schemes and 27% for new projects, especially in the social sector. Rs 70 billion has been allocated to offset the negative impact of the coronavirus pandemic and other calamities, and also to improve the living standards of the people. Rs 80 billion has been provided for the provision of electricity to the special economic zones. Rs 69 billion has been allocated for water-related projects to increase water storage capacity and power generation. Rs 118 billion has been earmarked for the CPAC related projects, including its western route. Rs 24 billion has been earmarked for ML1 and other projects of Pakistan Railways. Rs 20 billion has been allocated to improve the capacity of health institutions and to provide for health equipment, and Rs 5 billion has been allocated for reforms in the education sector. Rs 30 billion has been earmarked for higher education, which is one of the top priorities of the current government. The aim is to improve research and development in subjects such as artificial intelligence, automation, and space technology. Rs 179 billion has been allocated to provide different subsidies in energy, food, and other sectors. Rs 30 billion has been earmarked for Naya Pakistan Housing Authority to provide low-cost housing to the people. Rs 1.5 billion has been earmarked for low-cost housing through a Huat Foundation under Qarz-e-Hasana scheme. Rs 25 billion has been allocated for receipt through banks to improve foreign remittances. Rupees 40 billion has been allocated for Pakistan Railways to provide affordable transportation services to the people. Rupees 2 billion has been provided for Kamyab Jawan program for the capacity building of the youth, and Rupees 20 billion has been earmarked for IT-based services, 5G services and e-governance. Rupees 6 billion has been allocated to deal with the impacts of the climate change. Rupees 24 billion has been allocated to achieve sustainable development goals. Rupees 12 billion has been allocated for development projects in the agriculture sector to ensure food security. However, with an escalating fiscal deficit under the IMF program, we could potentially see cuts in the development expenditures during the year. Now, major relief measures in the current budget are: sales tax rate has been proposed to be reduced from current 14% to 12% in order to provide relief to shopkeepers in the wake of current COVID-19 pandemic. Minimum tax on hotel industry has been reduced from 1.5% to 0.5% for the 6 months effective from April 2020. The upper limit for shopping without showing identity card has been increased from 50,000 to Rs 100,000. Exemption from sales tax is proposed on import of dietetic food for medical purposes. Exemption on import of medical equipment has been increased for further 3 months from June 2020. Reduction in FED on cement has been reduced from 2 per kg to Rs 1.75 per kg to provide relief to the cement industry. There is also a reduction on custom duty for 40 raw materials of various industries, as well as exemption on withholding tax on cash withdrawal to the extent of foreign remittances. So this is all from the Budget Bulletin of ICMA Pakistan. We do encourage our audience, our stakeholders, and specifically our members working in various industries of Pakistan to join our post-budget technical session and post-budget conferences, where we will be inviting key experts and leading experts from the industry to share details of the current budget with you all. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.